Welcome back to Let's Play Ninja Gaiden Black Master Ninja for the third to last time here already. We are in the Great Bridge Square because you may remember this stone circle way back from, oh man, what was it, part 4? It has now become a portal and it takes us to the final Fiend challenge of the game. I see no further reason to delay, let's get to it. And here we are, the final Fiend challenge of the game, the Great Bridge Square challenge. Compared to the 120 Berserker challenge, this is more of a variety challenge. We've got 40 laser crabs, 40 ogres, and 40 berserkers. I'm sure you guys aren't sick of those yet. I'm certainly not. For the laser crab challenge, this is almost impossible to do legitimately due to the rather jerkish nature of how the laser crabs work. So we're going to take the cheese strat that I found in the 100% speedrun, where we equip the Armlet of Fortune, the Art of Inazuma, and we just spam that until the cows come home. Hopefully they drop red essence along the way, but if they don't, that is why we have a pocket full of Great Devil Elixirs and recovery items. At the end here, they started dropping tons of red essence though, so I actually got through this just using 3 Great Devil Elixirs. I'd also like to take some time to just pat myself on the back to start with here, because I managed to get through this without using any health restoring items. I was able to subsist entirely on blue essence. The laser crabs, when using the Inazuma method, is the easy section of this. This is where it starts to get a little tricky. Of course, we've got the ogres to deal with, so I stow the Armlet of Fortune and equip the Armlet of Sun. One annoying thing that, if you were paying attention, you probably noticed is that the ogres come in as soon as the kill counter flicks over into the 38 range, so you gotta be prepared for them to come in. This isn't a big deal for the ogres, as they're pretty slow and stupid, and we can finish off the laser crabs within Inazuma just fine still, but it is going to be pretty noticeable when the Berserkers come into play. Now, the layout of the Great Fiend Realm is basically a huge circle, and as far as size goes, it's nowhere near as big as, I can't even remember what that room was, but the room where we fought Pazu, but it's big enough that it creates a similar problem with the Ogre's AI, where they just don't really know where to go, so they kind of wander around aimlessly while you're fighting one at a time, so that makes this pretty easy. And of course, ogres, they have decent chance of dropping very large blue essence, so even if you take a few hits here and there, you can just recover yourself there. And honestly, it's not a bad thing if you take hits, because if you do get into critical health, you of course can switch over to the Enlabored Flawlessness, and that's actually the way to get through this section of the challenge really quickly. Just let yourself fall into critical, and then whack them with the Enlabored Flawlessness. With the Armlet of the Sun and the health bonus, or the health damage bonus, you can kill these guys in like 2 smacks, and the ultimate technique of the Enlabored Flawlessness will just kill them in 1 hit. And that's actually where, if you're on a karma run, this is the section where you want to get the majority of your karma, since the ogres are far more agreeable to letting you get ultimate techniques off, though. Of course, using the blue essence from the Berserker also lets you fuel some. But yeah, as you can see, not a terribly interesting. I've sped this up pretty considerably, and of course we've finally got Katana Zero playing. Maybe I should do another picture-in-picture thing and play Katana Zero over this again. Nah, let's not do that. I've already Let's Played that game, and maybe someday people will actually watch it. But regardless, we're closing in on the Berserker section of this challenge, and the Berserker section of this challenge, pretty similar in principle to how it was in fighting them in the Zarkon Coliseum. Of course, one of the bigger problems we have, though, is that we don't have the platforms to sort of break up our spacing with them, or give us a place to cheese UTs from. So we have to do it pretty close to as legitimate as possible. Of course, if you actually want to succeed at this, you have to do the camera trick, where if they're off-screen, they just won't do anything. And here's the transitional period where the Berserker comes in. So, as you can see, I'm trying to get the Berserker off-screen so that I can just get an Ogre on-screen and then finish him off. Managed it after rolling around for about a minute. Of course, it is obviously less than a minute in the video we're watching right now. It probably wasn't a minute, it was probably like 30 seconds or so, but you know, I like to exaggerate. But yeah, at this point, we're fighting Berserkers. This can be a little tricky. Camera control is very important here. It is so easy to just sort of whip the camera around and then get a Berserker on screen. and then you just got two of them trying to whack you, like right there. It is just so easy for the camera to whip around. Suddenly you're surrounded. These guys are just constantly shattering your guard and whacking you with their swords, and it's very nasty if you can't adjust. The easiest way to do that, of course, is to just get into a wall run and start running to the opposite side of the Fiend realm, and ideally that'll shake them and get them approaching you one at a time again. It's also very frustrating when you get them into the berserk state, but don't actually finish them off, because they, if the berserked berserker is the one to aggro you, they can absolutely do that dash attack in from off screen, and then go into that huge flurry combo, and that is pretty dangerous to deal with. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Aside from using the blue essence to heal myself when I'm already at full, I occasionally go to get in an ultimate technique just to get that little bit of karma and, you know, maybe put them into the berserk state right away. Sadly, ultimate techniquing them when they enter the berserk state, that doesn't do enough damage to kill them. The ultimate technique for the Dark Dragon Blade is surprisingly weak. In general, the Dark Dragon Blade is not that impressive of a weapon, given all the effort you have to give to it. It's just very situationally good against stuff like Berserkers, and actually, one fight we will be seeing later in this video, so get pumped for that. Otherwise, yeah, that's the challenge, so I guess I can just ramble on about whatever while I just flail around trying to defeat all these Berserkers. Again, I'm gonna pat myself on the back. I can't believe I got through this without using any healing items. No Talismans of Rebirth, no Elixirs of Spiritual Life. Elixirs of Spiritual Life have fallen off hardcore at this point. Like, if you're in critical, once you have the full health bar, I think like a full stock of 5 will barely put you below max, which is, you know, not great since we can only carry 5 of them, but, you know, it's healing that we would not have otherwise. Yep, Berserkers. I guess I just can ruminate on the Let's Play thus far. Honestly, I am just so impressed at how smoothly and how quickly this is going. The only real issue I had with recording this was the Archive Fiend Challenge, which was absurdly difficult. Easily the hardest in the game. It was the only one that actually took me multiple tries, and the only one that took me 8 hours compared to the others, which, you know, assuming that it was just, you know, really damaged spongy enemies, it would take like 10 minutes at most, or just annoying stuff to deal with like that. And, of course, the main thing to do at the end of this Let's Play is that it's not going to end after the ending of the game. Of course, we gotta finish up Sigma, which I will do that in the final video, since the final 2 chapters of Sigma almost identical to how they play out in Black and Ninja Gaiden Vanilla. There are very, very scant few changes, easily the most similar section of the game. The differences will be like right at the beginning, actually, and then there will be one difference right towards the end when we get to the top of the Imperial core that I'll comment on. There'll actually be a couple noticeable lack of differences, and one notable instance of actually removed content that is very frustrating. Very frustrating for me when I first played Ninja Gaiden Sigma as a teenager. But yeah, we got 10 more Berserkers to go. If you ever feel like you can try hitting these guys with Art of Inferno, it does not do great damage against them. If you're in a good Nimpo situation, of course, you can also speed up the Ogre section with Art of the Inferno, which is much more effective against those guys. Actually was nerfed pretty hard in Sigma. It doesn't do that great damage to them. If you use it at point blank, you can easily kill an Ogre with one Art of the Inferno. Ninja Gaiden Sigma, you have to use like multiple Arts of the Inferno to actually get them. Yes, the RNG nature of the Berserkers, always kind of a hassle to deal with. Alright, just 5 more left to go. We're pretty much at the end of this challenge here, so I'm gonna duck out and I will reconvene with you in the live Let's Play. And there we go! The final Fiend Challenge completed! And I'm pretty close to full health, and I used none of my healing supplies! I did, of course, use a lot of my Nimpo restoring items, but that was part of the plan. For our efforts, we get the final Lives of the Thousand Gods, and of course, the final health upgrade. Awesome. So, with that taken care of, we will return to the Imperial Core Palace and continue our ascent. What will await us at the top? We'll just wait and see. Alright, here we are where we left off at the Imperial Core Palace, mostly restored from the various ghost fish that attack us along the way. Now, what awaits us in the third chamber? Well, as you can see, these guys have got their eye on us, but, oh, joy, it's more Berserkers. I'm starting to get pretty sick of these guys, and unfortunately, we've got even more to fight up top, but that, we'll get to that when we get there. Let me get into a good spot so that I can actually angle the camera. Jeez, I was just fighting these guys, you know, I should have this down lock now. Granted, there is a lot of randomness to fighting them. Really need that shoulder tackle for them to come through. Oh, jeez. Yeah, it's always scary when you get... oof, jeez. Yeah, I've apparently just doing all these challenges has made me lose all of my skills in fighting these guys. You know, it happens. You just get so sick of it, you start dropping simple things, but that's okay. Come on, shoulder tackle me. Oof. Yeah, that was ugly. That is also ugly, jeez. Maybe it's the terrain messing me up. That's my excuse right now. Oh, jeez. Let's, yeah. Okay, we've got this back in control. But yeah, we just got more Berserkers to fight. Thankfully, it's only 4 instead of the 5 million that we had to fight in the previous challenges. It certainly feels like 5 million doing those challenges in real time. Oh, jeez. I've been so bad with doing that spinning attack recently. I have no intent to do it, but it just comes on out anyway. That's what I get for not returning the analog stick to neutral. But that's okay. This is the last Berserker we have to take out on this floor. I don't want you to think this is the last Berserker we see, period. Man, I'm just trying to get that loose hit, and it is not working out for me. There we go. Come on, buddy. Come on, shoulder tackle me. Shoulder. Head and shoulders, brother. I kind of made a quick portmanteau of brother and buddy there. You bruddy. But that's that. Okay, let's place our next statue and get the heck out of here. If I can. Ryu really wants to attack the floor. Alright. There's going to be more ghost fish waiting to assault us, so let's get the Vigorian flail back on. I'm actually rather pleased when the ghost fish show up at this point, since they are a good source of health, and the occasional source of Nimpo with the Armlet of Fortune. Alright, give us juicy points. I'm actually really happy that I did not use any healing items in that challenge there. That puts us in a really good situation. Financially, I mean. Okay, coming up here. Now, at the top here, there is a chest with a Life of the Gods awaiting us, but this is where you would normally drop down to grab the golden scarab on the floor below. Obviously, we just kind of cheesed our way up there to get it early, so I didn't have to fight any more Berserkers without the Dark Dragon Blade than I had to. Speaking of Berserkers, we're going to be fighting more soon. You may also notice in the walls there, and I didn't notice this until like the 10th time I played the game, there are fetuses in the wall. That is some pretty metal imagery, not gonna lie. Now this fight is a little annoying, because we've got, what is it, imps to deal with, mixed in with these guys. We're just going to do our best. Yeah, if I lose track of them like that and I can't get them, I'm just going to pop Inazuma, and that will help us out immensely there. Remember, if the Berserkers are off-screen, yeah, that's always annoying. Alright, let's just do that. Yeah, Greater Imps, pretty nasty foes on their own, but when mixed in with crowds, it's just such a hassle to keep track of them all. Luckily, Ogres, pretty non-aggressive. They're just gonna wander aimlessly while I deal with the Berserker, which is fine by me. I think it's 2 Ogres and 2 Berserkers apiece. Ogres, pretty susceptible to the same tactics as the Berserkers. Yeah, fighting these guys is pretty similar in principle. It's just the Berserkers are way more aggressive, do not have those completely free opportunities like the Ogres have, and this guy seems to be stuck. There you go, buddy. Haha. Just using that roll there to exploit the invincibility, get away from that. And if I can just get the last hit on this guy. Come on. There we go. Easy peasy. And as you can see, that was a relatively short fight there. we can finally place our last statue and get to the top. Before we head out of this room, I want to take a quick opportunity to throw on the Vigorian Flail as well as the Armlet of Fortune to replace some of the Nympho we lost. Yeah, if you're in a dangerous situation at this point, don't hesitate to use Nympho to get yourself out of it. The Ghostfish here give us ample opportunities to restore it, so it is just not something that is worth worrying about. Also, this specific Ghostfish encounter right here has a very short respawn trigger from where you leave it, so you can just run in a circle at the top here and respawn it, and we can just endlessly farm those guys for supplies. But that is irrelevant at the moment. We are at the Gates of Hell. There's this Stonehenge-esque structure right here. As you can see, there's the next portal over there, and we have one more pedestal for a statue. But we do not have a statue. Offer proof of divine acceptance, huh? And I can figure what their idea of divine acceptance is. This chest right here, more Ghostfish for us. Hopefully they drop some red essence for me. Come on, red essence. Red essence, that's what I need. No, it does not look like it. Okay, let's kick this one open. Get the final Life of the Gods in the game, and hey, we could upgrade ourselves one more time. No, only 8. I mentioned this in the previous video, but I screwed up and I missed one. It was in the Path of Flame after defeating the Fireworm. There's a chest in the room where there's the switch, and I just didn't check it out, because between practicing Sigma and Black, I lost track of that one item. However, the joke that I was planning was using this upgrade and showing that it does not do anything. There is one more life upgrade in the game than it takes to fully upgrade your life bar, so the final upgrade is meaningless. So it's no big deal that we don't have the final Life of the Gods, and actually kind of convenient how that worked out, since I was doing the final challenge anyway. So yeah, doing this Ghostfish encounter real quick, just to get our Nympho topped off. We're going to want it for one specific section of an upcoming gauntlet we have to deal with. Before we get into that, going to equip our Plasma Saber Mark II, we're going to want the Armlet of Sun for the moment. And, of course, it would be very foolish to go into this without saving, so let's upgrade our, or update our checkpoint here. There's a very high probability that I'm going to die, because we have 3 very, very tough boss fights in a row. Of course, to start off, we just got some Garden Variety Imps. You should be pretty used to fighting these guys at this point. Good tactic to use here is charge up Gleaming Blade. As you can see, just took out a bunch of them right there, no problem. Let's get another regular UT going. I honestly don't care too much for the True Dragon Sword UT, because while it is powerful, it has a very hard time hitting more than one enemy. But yeah, Gleaming Blade, very good for trapping these guys. Nice. Doing this very well. Sometimes this goes very poorly for me. Not bad, not bad. Let's get Gleaming Blade charged up. Decap that guy. Very juicy. And yeah, forget it. Let's just charge up Gleaming Blade, let this guy come in, take him out. No damage on that. That is very unusual for me.
My servants, return from the Underworld and take care of this puny insect once and for all.
Okay, notable change introduced, starting with Very Hard Mode and Master Mode. We fight one of the greater fiends, Nikei, Fiend of Destruction, I think she is. Nikei is not on normal mode and hard mode. Normally you fight Hydrucubus here. She is introduced on Very Hard Mode. She was introduced in a DLC for Ninja Gaiden 2004. It was like called a Hurricane Pack or something, or part of a Ninja World Tournament, and players who got to play that fought her there for the first time. She is in fact just a reskin of Alma, first form. Of course, that does not mean she is easy by any stretch of the imagination. She is still Alma. We're going to use the Dark Dragon Blade for this fight. Be very careful when she's in close like that, because she has a very high chance of doing a little leg lock grapple move, and that move there it is. Oof. Yeah, that does a ton of damage. Definitely want to heal off the damage we took from that. I'm actually really hoping she gets into the air here. The differing terrain of the Fiend realm gives us a unique option against this version of Alma, or Nikei, but same difference, it's just Alma. We can, when she flies in, we can do wall attacks, and getting a little unlucky there. But the wall attack from the Dark Dragon Blade does a ton of damage if it hits. I am having very bad luck, but believe me, this works. Well, it worked when she was on the ground, at least. She is being not very nice today. Yeah, let's use our Great Spirit Elixir. This is the fight where I tend to burn through a lot of my supplies, because this is very tricky to get her to play nice. But I'm doing the best I can here. There we go. And of course, whenever the greater imps come in, we just want to use Inazuma there, just deal with it. Her projectile's very hard to dodge in this area. It's very cramped. As you can see, I tend to get hit by those a lot. That grapple is another good opportunity. Is it gonna work? Yes, there. That's what it's supposed to look like. Yeah. Let's use up the rest of our Elixirs of Spiritual Life. I'm not too worried if I use up all my potions here. As long as I get it through here with my Talismans of Rebirth, I should be fine. Yep, that'll do it. And then get this out. Take out these guys. There we go. It wasn't a true wall attack. There we go. There we go. Alright. That was not the ideal that fight could go for, but it's good enough. Now, before we continue on, let's collect our yellow essence. We want to get the Plasma Saber Mark II back on, and we'd also like the Armlet of Celerity for the upcoming challenges. Before we get into the next boss fight, we're going to have another gauntlet against some greater imps. Let's get to that.
You're not as weak as I thought.
Alright, this fight here, pretty similar to the previous one, however, there's only 2 greater imps this time. The reason for that is that Marbus himself up there is going to be throwing those, fireballs at us. So we have to deal with that. The tell for Marbus throwing the fireballs is that he'll laugh before tossing one. Also, this is going bad. Yeah, let's use this as a panic button. This fight is going considerably more poorly, which is kind of a shame, because it's otherwise the mostly more easy one. The easier one. I am unlearning grammar as I try to keep up with this fight. Okay. Luckily, at low health, these guys have pretty good odds of... Oh, jeez. Yeah, it's pretty hard to hear his laughs while I'm talking, so that does make this a little bit trickier than it normally would be. Yeah, let's use a Panic Nimpo here. Let's see if we get any health off that. Yes! And we should be able to Azuna drop this guy to death. Let's see, any more health around here? No. And we become invincible at the end.
How do you like this?
And this is Ishtaros, the Fiend of Creation. She replaces the Yeti monster who would appear here in normal and very hard. Ishtaros, very fast, very aggressive, but we have some options for hitting her. When she does that claw swipe move, we can hit her with a basic combo in between strikes. The other move that she does that is a lot more consistent and gets good damage is... yeah, she's not doing it. That knee strike there, we can do the Azure Dragon into the Helm Splitter and do some really nice damage off of that. Her other attacks, she'll just dodge if we try to hit her off of them, so don't even bother with that. Do not get at a very long distance from her. She has this laser projectile attack that is insanely hard to dodge. I've never been able to do it, so just don't get to a huge distance from her. Okay, she's flying up in the air and swinging around. Let's use our Great Spirit Elixir to top ourselves off, and we want to... Oh, geez, I screwed this up. Charge up Gleaming Blade? Ooh, that did not go well. If I had managed to land properly and charge it at the right time, there we go, we would have gotten some huge damage on her. Another chance to do so. No, screwed up. Yeah, that is also pretty difficult to dodge. It is doable, and it's a good opportunity to hit her if you do. Alright. Yeah, this is not the ideal I've had this fight go, but it's good enough. If you get caught in block strings, do not try to hit her. That does not usually end well. Alright, let's see if I can't do this right. Yes! Gleaming Blade does excellent damage if you can connect with it. There we go. When she gets into cycles of doing the knee strikes, that's a very good opportunity to damage her. And also, you may notice, in contrast to Nikei, Ishtaros is in fact a completely unique fight. So that's pretty nice to see. And one more and we should have her. Come on, do a knee strike. No. Those whip moves cannot hit her off of that. Don't even bother. She'll just dodge out of the way. There we go, and we win. Alright, and we're going into the next fight with 2 Talismans of Rebirth, which is probably the ideal to go into it with. I don't mind if I lose one. We're obviously going to have to do a trip back to restock, but that is okay. Next up.
That's it. It's time for me to take you on personally.
Marbus himself enters the fray. This fight is not hard, it's just very annoying and very stupid. The big difficulty, of course, is that it comes off of the heels of 2 really tough fights, then you're probably low on supplies. Thankfully, I'm actually in a really good situation, having Talismans of Rebirth here. Marbus, he can summon Greater Imps, he does not start with them in the battlefield. Alright, that's actually really good. When he does that Fireball move, next he'll spin up. We want to watch for that blue thing, and use the essence to do a Gleaming Blade. Watch out when you do a bunch of damage to him up close. He will counter with a grapple, just roll away, hit him with a couple more strings. When he summons the Greater Imps, you can just scoop them up right away, so that's a very good idea to do. Yeah, let's just do that. When you're nearby him, he might strike the ground. That move cannot be blocked, so be careful of that. When he can occasionally do that shoulder shackle that he just did there. That's a very good opportunity to hit him right there. Let's take that, restore our Nympho a little bit. Yeah, whenever the imps come in, just pick them up immediately, take them out of the picture. Coming off of the heels of the Zuna drop there is a little undesirable. There's the blue. Otherwise, you have to wait for... Okay, let's be careful there. You have to just listen to his audio cue. At the end of his grunt, he will come at you, so just be listening for that. Obviously, since I'm talking, it's going to be harder for me to hear it, but that is okay. There's that. Okay, ooh. Yeah, we're not going to be able to hit him here. Yeah, Greater Imps just make this pretty annoying to get through to him. But this is not the worst. Honestly, I think this is a bit better than in lower difficulties where he calls in Bast Fiends. Those things can be really annoying to keep track of in this battle. Nice. We're actually getting really good luck with the Gleaming Blade essences. Yeah, when he's just floating in the air there, get close to him. He may create an opportunity for you to hit him. Occasionally he can come down low enough that you can hit him with Azure Dragon from the ground, which is actually a pretty nice. Don't hesitate to look for those opportunities. And yeah, you definitely want to stay close to him because that will create opportunities where he'll just slam the ground like that. And that also has an audio cue where he goes like, that means that he's about to strike the ground. Come on, do some fireballs, go into that other move there. No. Now, sometimes he can get caught in cycles of just summoning imps endlessly, and it's really annoying. He's doing that right now. So, yeah. This fight, again, it's not a very tough one, but like a lot of fights in Ninja Gaiden, there's a lot of RNG to when, geez, that's the most imps I've ever had him summon in a row. What was that? That was like 6 of them. It was probably 5, and I lost count, but you get my point. It's very annoying regardless. I'm actually surprised I was close enough to hit with that. You can very occasionally hit him with Flying Swallow, but as you can see right there, usually it does not work. It doesn't even knock him out of the air like it would Alma or anything. This is actually one of the better instances I've had of this fight. Yep. Lost track of that guy. Alright, when he summons multiple imps, and you can't just get them looped in Izuna drop like that, I would honestly just recommend, what is it? Doing Inazuma. And there comes that. Alright, this should be the last one. Yes, there we go. Marbus defeated. And I beat all those bosses without using any of my Talismans of Rebirth on the first try. Oh man, my practice is paying off. But for defeating Marbus, we get the final statue of the game, Demon, Deity of Destruction. And after doing that, we get a nice saunter back through the Fiend realm, back to the statue. Save statue. Of course, we got the pedestal to place our statue on. Statuette. Well, regardless, we've got statues inside of statues. Okay, oof. This has been a part and a half for me, and it's surprisingly not even broken an hour yet. I figured my final time for this would be like an hour and 40 minutes. Let's place the statue here. Upon placing Demon, Deity of Destruction, the gate atop Fohenge over here opens up, and as you can see, it creates a bone staircase for us to take. That will take us up to the last bosses of Chapter 15, and the end of Chapter 15, taking us into Chapter 16, of course, and there will be the end of the game. We will be taking care of all of that in the next video. Alright, but this has been quite the ride, and I am actually really glad to have made it this far. This has been a blast and a half for me to record, and I hope everybody watching has been enjoying it too. Next time, we'll see the end of the game. Until then, goodbye.